Okay, so first things first, before we get into the meat of the low intermediate lesson, I always like to show the 7 gears, just so again, you have that idea. These gears are progressive, like a car transmission, and your brain and your body, as you develop skills, those will be the transmission, eventually fluidly moving you between all those 7 gears. So those will come up just as a quick review. All right, so another gorgeous day in Tahoe Donner Cross Country Ski Center. We just learned today, amazing, that the February 1st Northern Sierra Snow Survey, it's done over near Sierra at Tahoe on US Highway 50, was the highest since 1995 and the fourth highest ever since meticulous records were kept beginning in 1950. So we'll show a quick graph of that. But anyway, back to the lesson at hand. Today is low intermediate. So we will be looking at V1 technique again, reviewing briefly what we reviewed last time, but also look at episode 21 for further review. And then we're going to have some enhancements today, and I'll discuss those as we actually look at the skiing videos. And then at the end, we will also briefly look at V2 alternate, but all we're going to look at today on V2 alternate is a little bit about the timing and where the hands go roughly, and then we'll be refining that when we go into the advanced intermediate video. So hope you have a wonderful time learning with me. As you can tell, I adore skate skiing. My wife adores skate skiing too, Celia, and I adore my dear wife. So thanks, and have a great time coming along with us. For this part, we'll just do a little bit of V1. Celia's a little bit above me, so I'll just do some V1. So at regular speed on V1, notice that my left hand is planted somewhat up toward my ear, although not super close there. And notice where my left pole lands. In slow motion, you'll see the left pole lands fairly close to the left ski, and it lands right there. It's landing almost straight up, although I like to land ideally with a slightly angled pole. For the right hand, it starts at the top up about to the zipper of the middle of the jacket, landing on an angled pole pointing back and somewhat outside, and the tip is landing relatively close to my right ski near the boot. Next, look at my knees. They are pretty far out, almost like I'm riding on a giant horse or bucking bronc. You have to keep the knees far out so that you can land on a flat ski. So if you notice at first, I'm landing on a flat ski. You want to be on a flat ski as much as possible because that's when there is minimal friction and the ski can really fly. The inner part of the thigh feels like it gets pulled up the hill. So in my mind, I focus on that at times, pulling my inner thigh up the hill. Notice also that my ankles stay flexed forward. Really top-notch racers would be more forward than that, but for recreational skiing, just moving along at a comfortable pace, they'll stay forward flexed about that much. In V1 and some of the other gears, I lift the ski more from the heel, and the tip is almost still resting in the snow. Notice especially on my right ski that really seems to be happening. By doing that, it helps to keep your ankles flexed forward. Because this is a gentle hill, some of the features don't come out quite as strong, but you'll notice that my arms start flexed a fair amount, and they stay flexed through most of the poling cycle, although on this easier hill, they're getting fairly straight toward the end. If this were a steeper hill, when you see my left arm start when it's flexed, it gets partway down. Before it straightens out, I'd be snapping back up for the next cycle. But that's necessary more on steeper hills, and I'll show that in another video later. This close-up of my boots shows that they come close together and that the tails cross. The tails cross so that I can land on a flat ski. In this segment, I am going up a slightly steeper hill, and so all of the elements come into play even more. So on a somewhat steeper hill, we can see that my left hand goes up and somewhat in front of my left ear. My right hand goes almost to the top of the zipper in the midline of my jacket. You can also see that my knees bow out like I'm on a giant horse or even a bull. You can see that my ankles stay flexed forward and that my poles land at the beginning of the plant, already angled back somewhat. You can also notice that while my skis do lift, the heel and tail of the ski are lifting more. This keeps me more forward on the ski with the ankles more flexed. You'll notice that the tail is almost dragging across the snow some. In fact, you could see it right there. That keeps the ankles and the body position flexed forward. In this last clip at regular speed, you can try to look for all those elements. That is a lot to learn. Start with one or two at a time, get those nailed down, which could easily take a lot of days of skiing, and then progress. So now doing V2 alternate. You'll notice that my hands are going all the way back. Strong on the right, free on the left. So in V2 alternate, I'm only pushing off from the right side here. When my hands come to the top, my feet are not quite together. Then the explosion occurs, pushing off to the left ski. All right, so I really hope you enjoyed this low intermediate video. Coming up next in the advanced intermediate video, I'll be starting to review some of the finer techniques of V1. There are more than 30 different aspects of V1. Top skiers would say more than 100. So it'll be the rest of your skiing career that you keep learning more, even about just V1. But we will really dig into V2 alternate in the advanced intermediate video. So look forward to seeing you for that.